and welcome to Inner Circle Guidance. Today we're going to be doing a collective reading, but for those of you who are new to the circle, hello and welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I post new videos every single day. If you're looking for daily short tarot readings, check out my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube Shorts. If you're looking for personal services or personal readings, I offer them through my website, innercircleguidance.com. Let's find out what the circle needs to know today. We have the Empress, Nine of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Six of Wands, and the Three of Swords. We have the Five of Wands on the bottom of the deck here. Okay, so the Empress is a very nurturing sort of energy. It's the energy of somebody who can pretty much make anything grow in pretty much any kind of circumstances simply with nurturing. Now, in its extreme negative, the Empress can do the opposite and prevent anything from growing. But in this instance, we're talking about nurturing due to the other cards that are on the table here. But what's interesting is the Nine of Wands is about maybe boundaries not being as strong as they need to be, maybe a bit of apprehension, a little bit of worry, but still having hope for the future, but being sort of bogged down in current circumstances or current energies. And it's interesting that the Empress came out first and this Nine of Wands came out after, because it's almost like the wall behind this person is dividing the Empress from this person. And they're sort of looking to the Empress with expectation. And it's interesting because we're still in this sort of point of reflection. And with the eclipses that are going to be coming up here soon and what's happening in astrology right now, for those of you who are unaware, there's a lot of chaotic energies that are going to be happening, a lot of heavy emotions being brought to the surface over the next several weeks and next several months. And eclipses always bring up things that are hidden, that need attention. That's largely why, for those of you who are in your reflection stage, and we're in transition between closing out past cycles and past chapters and stepping into new ones, that's why some of this energy is coming up now, so that it doesn't all hit you at one time. The universe is trying to acclimate you and slowly coax you out of your shell and step out of your comfort zone with things so that you don't feel like you're getting that slap in the face and kick in the butt, like I had said in one of the other readings that you all were laughing about. But getting back to the Empress here in this Nine of Wands, it is not your job to heal everybody who comes into your life. And I'm seeing that in the past, you have been overgiving in that sense. You have felt responsible for people's well-being or success or happiness or abundance when it wasn't your responsibility. For some of you, you've even taken it so far that you were stepping into taking action on some of those things that maybe was not so welcomed, and you got sort of this stay in your lane kind of response to that. But here's the thing. The Ace of Pentacles and the Six of Wands are referring to having a lot of success coming in. Six of Wands specifically has to do with success, has to do with changes happening for the better, positive outcomes, working towards long-term stable goals and abundance. The Ace of Pentacles is an offer for long-term stability. And sometimes it is simply an offer from the universe. Sometimes it's romantic or otherwise. It just sort of depends on when and where it's pulled. In this particular instance, it's talking about your abundance as a whole. And you're moving forward towards your 10 of Pentacles, because we had talked about that in the other readings. And that energy is still very much present here. But the thing about asking for all of your abundance is that there's some important things that go along with that. One, you have to be in a receiving energy. You have to be willing to accept and understand that you are worthy of that level of abundance. The second thing is that you have to be able to maintain it through your boundaries, through the decisions you make, through self-awareness, through keeping your energy high vibrational, and through the company that you keep. And I'm seeing that in the past, you would have these spurts of abundance and then someone would disappoint you, or you'd end up with a partner who was low vibrational, or you had people in your life who were low vibrational that took your energy and took kind of the wind out of your sails. You're being asked to really evaluate at this time where your boundaries need to be stronger in terms of your giving. Because here's the thing, let's say you get all of your abundance and all of your happiness, but if you are not keeping your boundaries and you're not keeping your high vibrational state, and you are allowing low vibrational people or low vibrational aspects of certain people in your life to take that away from you, you're never going to be able to maintain it. And so you're being asked right now to reflect on that and to draw the line very, very hard. And I'm not talking about drawing a line in the sand where some wind blows and then suddenly the line is either completely gone or there's a break in the line. I'm talking about you need to build like a 20-foot wall with a moat, with guards, some alligators, maybe some bombs, like however you want to visualize that. But you need to draw that line very hard, and you need to stick to that line and stop letting people sort of like, we'll go back to the line in the sand. Sand obviously moves when you touch it. So instead of people kind of letting them probe at this line and then it sort of just like brushes away, right? You need to set up this heavy, resilient wall. And you have to remember that when you set up a wall like this for a boundary, even if you have a moat and 20 alligators, 50 guards, some bombs, a catapult, whatever you want to, however you want to visualize it. You are the Empress. You rule the kingdom. You decide what flies, what doesn't, who the gate is open up to, who just gets kicked to the curb. And it's like, good luck, don't get eaten by the alligators. Like, you decide all of that. But you've been a little too lenient and a little too lax about who has access to that energy. You have to remember that if you are a light worker or a starseed, or you are anybody who has that healing energy, empath, whatever, there are going to be people who want to stand in your light simply for the warmth that it gives. There are going to be people who are going to want to control that energy. There are going to be people who want to feed off that energy and take that light away from you. Not everybody deserves your healing energy. Your healing energy is a gift, okay? Not everyone deserves your healing energy. Now, I think most people deserve the chance. However, you can't just go giving it to just anybody, especially people who don't appreciate it. One, it's only going to drain your energy and prevent you from being able to do the good work you're trying to do. And two, they're not going to use it for any kind of positive means. It's one thing to have hope for people. It's another to completely take on their responsibilities of finding spiritual awakening and awareness and abundance and happiness and being a better person. That is not on you. You may be able to ignite that in people. You may have the gift of healing, but that doesn't mean that you are responsible for healing everyone. They have to do the work. It doesn't matter how much healing energy you send them, how many red flags you point out to them, how many things you show them. If they don't want to do the work, they will always stand behind that wall and steal your energy. They're not going to do anything else. And frankly, when you're leading people like that, they often don't learn anything. You have to realize that it doesn't matter how good of a guru or a teacher you are. If the student doesn't want to learn, it doesn't matter what you say or what you do. They're going to go do their own thing. And this is a very strong message because this is something that I struggled with for a very, very long time before I completely understood my own gifts. I overgave so bad to the wrong people because I felt responsible because I had the ability to do that. But as you gain awareness in your spiritual gifts, you start to slowly realize that the reason you're given these gifts is to help elevate people, but it's also a choice of that person for whether or not they choose to elevate, whether or not they choose to grow, whether or not they choose to be better. If you constantly keep giving to the people who don't appreciate it, who have no intention on actually growing, what you're actually doing is you're making it to where you're not able to give that gift to the people who actually deserve it. And so part of it is a mindset switch, especially if you grew up in an abusive household, or you grew up being told that you were selfish, or that you were brought up to be polite, not assertive, or if you were very lacking self-confidence or self-worth. When you have gifts like this, it becomes hard sometimes to distinguish where you're meant to be sending that energy. Part of the reason why Inner Circle Guidance works is because I don't go looking for you guys. You guys come looking for me. And then I'm able to teach you because you take what you want to learn and you go from there. I'm not forcing this upon you. It's a choice that you all are making. You need to understand that if you are a person who has these types of gifts, it's the same principle. You can't force other people to ascend. It's a choice. And they also have to do it in their own time. You can't force them to do it faster than they're ready to do it. And that's sometimes a rude awakening. The other thing is that when you're giving so much energy into these things, you have to keep in mind that as long as your energy is out of balance, you will always be succeeding in one area and neglecting another. So if you are succeeding or semi-succeeding or attempting to succeed so hard in over giving to people who don't deserve it, you are, number one, not giving to yourself. Number two, not giving to the people who actually want and need your help. And three, you're not giving to the energies of abundance because it's in a imbalance state. There's no reciprocity. There's no positive energy really that's being created because the energy is sort of stagnated. And so what happens is that's where you end up attracting more disappointment, more obstacles, more people who are simply takers, and those types of things. And it puts you into an energy of chaos. It puts you into dark nights of the soul. It has you questioning your value, your worth. It has you questioning all these different things. And so you're really being urged as you step into this next chapter, there's no room for that energy anymore. So you're being urged to really figure out where you need to build that wall and what criteria somebody has to meet in order to get past the gate. And it's not selfish or wrong to have these boundaries, no matter what other people tell you, because you'll get low vibrational people who will say things like, oh, well, you know, if you have this type of gift, then you should just be helping everyone. No, not everyone wants to be helped. It's also not my responsibility, nor is it your responsibility to help everyone. People have to choose to help themselves. There's only so much you can do if they're not willing to help themselves. So I'm actually not going to pull any more cards because I feel like this is a strong message and one that's going to take some work on your part if you are struggling in this area. Hopefully I was able to give you some different perspectives, because sometimes that's simply what's needed, is a different perspective on the situation, especially if you grew up in that sort of energy where you're getting people telling you things like what I had just said about, oh, but it's your responsibility. Take some time, try to figure out what your criteria is to pass the gate. That's going to be the most important part, because you can build the wall as much as you want. But if you're also not allowing the right energies in, or you're not sure, like you're building the wall out of fear instead of out of boundaries, that's not going to benefit you either. So get clear on your criteria first, then figure out where the walls need to be built, and then build them and sustain them. That is your, I guess, homework for this reading. Your affirmation for this reading is I am drawing I am drawing and maintaining, there we go, healthy boundaries where it comes to my spiritual gifts, where it comes to my giving to other people, and where it comes to boundaries for my personal well-being. And as always, may your life be full of light, full of love, abundance, and gratitude. I'll see you next time.